Hi students, welcome back to the new session. Today I am going to teach you the revision lecture which is present in states of matter. In the last session we discussed about the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Now I am going to teach you properties of solids, liquids and gases. Once again I will resume this concept. Here the particles. What the particles are? Particles means matter. What the matters are? Solids, liquids and gases. Generally particles which are having interparticle spaces, of course this is also called intermolecular spaces. Interparticle spaces or intermolecular spaces. What is the meaning of intermolecular spaces? Means particle. That means molecule. Particle means here molecule. Molecule in between some gap is there. Some space is there. The gap or space between the molecules is nothing but intermolecular spaces. Generally these intermolecular spaces are very small in the case of solids, because solid molecules are, if you take here, they are come close together and tightly bounded. These are solid molecules. They are come close together and tightly bounded. That's why here spaces, gap is very less. Am I correct or not? Here gap is very less. Molecule and gap is very less. Am I correct or not? That's why intermolecular spaces or interparticle spaces are very small in the case of solids. Compare with solids, in liquids comparatively large. Liquid molecule in between some gap is present in it. So compare with solids, liquid molecule in between gap is more. That's why compare with solids, it is comparatively large. Which one? Liquids. If you take gases, in gaseous molecules, molecule in between gap is very large. For suppose this is the container, this is the gas. So gaseous molecule in between gap is very large. So gap is more. So that's why intermolecular spaces or intermolecular particles, interparticle spaces where it is more means in gases intermolecular space is more. That means molecule in between gap is more. Students, have you understood or not? Next one, interparticle forces. Of course, interparticle forces is also called as intermolecular forces. Intermolecular force of attraction or interparticle force of attraction means molecule in between some attraction force is present in it. So if you take a molecule in between, what will be there? Some attraction force is present between the molecule and molecule. This attraction force between the molecule and molecule is nothing but intermolecular force of attraction. So the force of attraction between the molecules is nothing but intermolecular force of attraction or interparticle force of attraction. Generally this intermolecular force of attraction in the case of solids, this is very strong. That's why all solid molecules are come close together, they are tightly bounded. Due to the reason strong intermolecular force of attractions are present in solids. But compare with solids, in liquids intermolecular force of attractions are weak. Of course attraction is present in it, but that is weak attraction forces between the molecules in the case of liquids. But if you observe the gases, in gaseous state molecule in between intermolecular spaces is more. That means molecule in between gap is very large. When the intermolecular spaces is more, intermolecular force of attractions are very less. Almost here attraction forces are negligible in the case of which one? Gases. Because gaseous molecule in between intermolecular space or gap is very large. When the gap is more, distance is more. When the distance is more, attraction force is less. That's why intermolecular force of attractions in the case of gaseous molecules almost it is negligible. Have you understood or not? That's why in gaseous state molecule in between gap is more. That means Intermolecular spaces, what is students? Intermolecular force of attractions are is inversely proportional to intermolecular spaces. So when the intermolecular space is more, then intermolecular force of attraction is decreases. Intermolecular force of attraction decreases. That's why where the intermolecular spaces or interparticle spaces, where it is more, in the case of gases, intermolecular spaces is more. That's why gases intermolecular force of attractions are very less. I hope you are very clear here. Next one, nature. Generally, nature, you should observe that when solids are very hard nature and they are rigid, but liquids are fluids. Fluid means which can be flow from one place to another place. Gases can move freely in all directions. Gases can easily move in all directions. That's why this is a highly fluids. Liquids and gases are fluids, which is highly fluid means gases, because gases can flow easily in all directions. But solids, they are rigid, doesn't move. They are kept in fixed positions. Next one, compressibility. So what is compressibility property? So compressibility means whenever you should increase the pressure, then volume is decreases. That is called compressibility. What students, compressibility means? What is compressibility? Whenever you should increase the pressure increases on the system, volume is decreases. So generally solids cannot be compressible. Of course liquids slightly compressible. Liquids are slightly compressible, but gases can be easily compressible. So whenever you should apply the more pressure on the gas, their volume should be decreases. That means it gives the which property? Compressibility property. So compressibility means, how can you understand? In the case of solids, compressibility is almost negligible, but liquids can be slightly compressible compared with solids. Gases highly compressible. Compressible means whenever you should increase the pressure, upward arrow means increases. Whenever you should increase the pressure, then gas volume should be decreases. This phenomena is said to be which one, students? Compressibility. After the density. So if you take density means what is? Mass by volume. Whenever mass is more, density is more. Have you understood or not? Generally solids are very hard and heavy. That's why mass is more, so density is more in the case of solids. So that's why solids absolute density is very high. In liquids density is medium. But in the case of gases, their density is very low. Why it is low? Take a look here. I will give explanation here. In gases, molecule in between gap is more. When the gap is more, you know that volume is more. So density formula, what is? Mass by volume. In gases, molecule in between more gap is there, more distance is there. So when the gap is more, space is more, volume is more. In the case of gases, volume density both are inversely proportional. Na? That's why when the volume is more, density is less for gases. So gases are having more volume, that's why they are having less density. That's why in the case of gases they are having low density or less density. Next one is kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy, students? The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion, that is called kinetic energy. For your sake, once again I repeated the definition. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion, that is nothing but kinetic energy. Moving objects which are having which energy? Kinetic energy, you know very well. This kinetic energy in the case of solids, that is very low. In case of liquids, the kinetic energy is medium, moderate. In the case of gases, kinetic energy is very high. That means gases can be easily absorbing the energy and they are collide with each other, collision with each other, and there are also gaseous molecules are collision with container walls of the container. So that's why in the case of gaseous molecules, their kinetic energy is very very high. That's why gases can be easily moves in all directions. Due to the reason kinetic energy is more whenever absorbing energy. Next one, diffusion. So whenever diffusion or effusion, if you take that one, solids very slow, diffusion moves moving capacity. So in the case of solids, they are very slow. Liquids medium, but gases can easily spread over all over the room within fraction of seconds. When you are open the lid bottle of scent, what will happen? The scent containing gaseous molecules are spread over the room within fraction of seconds, because the gaseous molecules rate of diffusion is very more. Okay students, I hope you are very clear here. After that, take a look here. What are the difference between solids, liquids and gases? Generally solids are rigid in comparison to liquids and gases. Liquids and gases are, they are capable to move from one place to another place, but solids cannot flow, they can be heaped. That's why they are rigid. Liquids is not so rigid, it is a fluid, it can be flow, it can be move from one place to another place. Gases are also not rigid, they are fluids, you know very well. Next, solids have definite shape and definite volume. Solids have definite shape and definite volume. But in the case of liquids, students, liquids have definite volume but not have definite shape. Liquids have definite volume but don't have any definite shape. Gases, in the case, it is quite contraction. What is? Neither definite shape nor definite volume. Neither definite shape nor definite volume. That means gases can neither possess definite shape nor possess definite volume. And solid particles are having low kinetic energy. I had already explained. But in the case of gases, are having high kinetic energy. Liquid molecules have moderate kinetic energy. That means intermediate kinetic energy. Neither low nor high. In between is there. That is called intermediate. Neither low nor high, in between will be there. That is called intermediate or moderate kinetic energy. You know very well, solids cannot be compressed appreciably. Almost compressibility we should neglect in the case of solids. Solids cannot be compressible. Liquids can be slightly compressible compared with solids. Gases can be easily compressible to some extent level. These are the few differences between solid particles, liquid particles and gaseous particles. And after that, in solids, their molecules are held rightly by strong nuclear forces. You know very well, in solid molecules, solid molecules, in between strong attraction forces are present in it. When the strong attractions are present between the solid molecules, all the solid molecules are come close together, they are tightly bounded. And in the case of liquids, what will happen, students? Molecules are held tightly at intermediate level. Of course, here also molecules are tightly bounded, but compare with solids, here some more loosely bounded compare with solids. That's why this is intermediate level. In the case of gases, very weak attraction forces are present among the molecular gases. So here molecule in between, intermolecular spaces are more. That's why intermolecular force of attractions in the case of gases are very less. So intermolecular force of attraction, where it is strong in solids, where it is less in liquids. In gaseous, intermolecular force of attractions are almost negligible, very weak in the case of gases. After that, solids are present in a very dense form. Of course, density is more in the case of solids. Density is present in a moderate level or intermediate level, neither high nor low in the case of liquids. But gaseous molecules, if you take that one, gases possess very low density. Due to the reason gases is having more volume. When the volume is more, density is less. After that, solids cannot flow easily, they can be heaped. In the case of liquids, known by following property: moderately flow, this one, and gaseous molecules can be easily flow and evaporates. That means gaseous molecules moves freely in all directions na. After that, the rate of diffusion is very low in the case of solids. The rate of diffusion is moderate in the case of liquids, which can be easily diffuses at very high rate of diffusion in the case of which one, students? Gases. Next one, in the solid, in the states of matter, another subtopic is phase changes. These are very very important topic, phase changes. Generally, matter can change from one form to another form. For suppose you should take ice. Ice kept outside the freezing chamber of the fridge, it can be changes into water. Whenever this water you should keep in, you should take in pot and heat that one, the water goes to convert into water vapor. That means the state of the matter can be changes from one form to another form. The state changes is nothing but phase changes. So every matter phase changes from one form to another form. That is the data which is given in that chart. So phase changes means matter can change from one form to another form. As this occurs, energy also changes. When the state of the matter changes, energy also changes. Maybe the energy is increases or decreases, whatever it may be, but energy changes occurs. So changes in state of matter. So changes to state of matter, what will happen here, students? A substance changes the state when its thermal energy increases or decreases. Thermal energy means heat. So when the substance changes from one form to another form, the substance thermal energy maybe increases or decreases. This phenomena we can easily observe in three frequently observed changes to states of matter. What that phenomena? That is called melting, freezing and boiling. Of course, boiling is also called as vaporization. Boiling is also called vaporization. Boiling is nothing but what is, students? Vaporization. So changes in matter. Water can change from one state to another state by adding or subtracting heat. So ice will be there. You should given the heat, adding the heat. Heat can be represented by delta na. This is heat. Whenever you are adding heat to ice, it will changes into water. From that water you should remove the heat. Remove the heat means subtract the heat. Whenever subtract the heat, that is called cooling. From that water you should remove some heat from water, that means you should give cooling. It will changes into ice. Am I correct or not? Water kept inside the freezing chamber of the fridge, it will convert into ice. Ice kept outside the fridge, it will be converted into water. One is adding of heat, another one is subtracting of heat. Whenever heat is the form of energy, when you will be added or subtracted, what will happen? State of that matter change from one form to another form. But don't forget that composition never same. Ice means composition H2O, water means composition H2O. Composition remains same, but state of the matter changes. Ice is present in which state? Solid state. Water is present in which state? Liquid state. State of the matter only changes. That is the important phenomena which is involved here. Okay, students, that's why water can change from one state to another state by adding or subtracting the heat. Not only water, if you take any type of matter, when it will changes from one form to another form, either we should add energy or we should subtract the energy, then only there is a possibility to convert from one form to another form. So a solid changes to liquid when heat is added. When the solid can be converted into liquid, students? When the ice can be converted into water? Ice, if it absorbs energy, then only it will changes into water. So the conversion of solid state to liquid state by absorbing heat, then only what will happens? Change takes place in a matter. Here changes in a states of matter, changes in a state or changes in a state means phase, changes in a phase. So what the changes are? Melting process, freezing process, boiling process. Of course, boiling process is also called vaporization process, condensation process, sublimation process, deposition process. Of course, this deposition process is also called as hoarfrost. What is, students? Hoarfrost. So first of all, take a look here. What is melting process? What it is, students? What is melting process? What is melting process, students? The solid to liquid. The solid state can be converted into liquid state by absorbing heat, by adding heat. Then only the solid state material can be converted into liquid state material. This phenomena is called melting or fusion, or this is melting or fusion. So what is melting process or fusion process? The solid state can be converted into liquid state by absorbing heat. The phenomena is called melting or fusion. The constant temperature is called melting point or fusion point. Next one, students, what will be there here? Freezing process. Freezing means this is reverse. Liquid state, what is? Liquid state can be converted into solid state. From that liquid you should subtract the heat, that is nothing but cooling or releasing heat. So from liquid state can be converted into solid state by cooling. This process is called boiling or vaporization. This process is called, sorry, I made a mistake, please allow me to correct it. The liquid state can be converted into solid state by cooling or by releasing heat energy. This process is called freezing or solidification. Freezing, of course, this is also called, what is, students? Solidification. What is solidification? Solidification. What is solidification, students? The liquid state can be converted into solid state by cooling or by releasing energy. That phenomena is called solidification or freezing. The constant temperature is called solidification point or freezing point. Next one, boiling. What is boiling? Of course, boiling is also called vaporization. Boiling means, what is, students? Here you should take boiling means the liquid state can be converted into gaseous state by absorbing heat. This phenomena is called boiling or vaporization. What is boiling or vaporization, students? The liquid state can be converted into gaseous state by absorbing heat. That phenomena is called boiling or vaporization. The constant temperature is called boiling point or vaporization point. Next one, what will be there? Condensation process. Of course, it is very important. Condensation is also called liquefaction. What is condensation or liquefaction means? Now we should take gaseous state. It will be converted into liquid state. When the gaseous state can be converted into liquid state means by cooling. What is, students? By cooling or by releasing heat energy. So the gaseous state can be converted into liquid state by cooling or by releasing heat energy. That phenomena is called condensation. That phenomena is called condensation or liquefaction. Liquefaction. The constant temperature is called condensation or liquefaction. Liquefaction. The constant temperature is called condensation point or liquefaction point. I hope you are very clear here. The gaseous state can be converted into liquid state by cooling or by releasing heat energy. That phenomena is called condensation or liquefaction. The constant temperature is called condensation point or liquefaction point. Next one, sublimation. Very important. Sublimation means the solid state. What is, students? The solid state can be directly converted into gaseous state without changing their liquid state by heating, sorry, on heating, on what is heating is called, heating means by absorbing heat. This phenomena is called sublimation process. This phenomena is called what is sublimation process. That means the solid state can be directly converted into gaseous state without changing their liquid state on heating. That process is called sublimation. Generally, if you take any state of matter, first of all heat that one, it will be changes from solid to liquid. Again you should heat that one, it will be changes from liquid to gas. But in the case of subliming solids, that means the solids which can exhibit the property of sublimation, those solids are called subliming solids. Generally subliming solids, whenever you should burn that one or heat give that one, they are directly goes to gaseous state. From solid state to directly goes to gaseous state or vapor state, does not changes into liquid state on heating. That is called sublimation process. That materials are called those substances are called subliming solids. Subliming solids, that means the substances which can obey the property of sublimation property, those substances are called subliming solids. Example, that is ammonium chloride, NH4Cl means this name is ammonium chloride. Camphor, whenever you should take camphor and burn that one, it goes to directly which one? Solid state to vapor state without changing their liquid state. Camphor. Naphthalene, as well as anthracene, naphthalene, anthracene, solid carbon dioxide. Okay, that means the carbon dioxide gas we should keep at high pressure, then it will convert into solid state. That is called solid carbon dioxide. This commercial name is dry ice. Solid carbon dioxide. And iodine crystals. Which one? Iodine crystals. All these are subliming solids. That means all these solid materials, whenever you should heat that one, they directly goes to vapor state but does not goes to liquid state on heating. That's why they are subliming solids. This phenomena is called sublimation process. The constant temperature is called sublimating point. Constant temperature is called what, students? Sublimating point. After that, hoarfrost. Hoarfrost means it is the opposite of sublimation process. What is? The gaseous state can be directly converted into solid state without changing their liquid state on cooling. On cooling. This process is called hoarfrost. This is called what is? Hoarfrost or deposition. Deposition or deposition. What is hoarfrost or deposition means, students? The gaseous state can be directly converted into solid state without changing their liquid state on cooling. This phenomena is called hoarfrost or deposition. The constant temperature is called hoarfrosting point or deposition point. What are the examples of hoarfrost means? What I have given examples of subliming solids, sublimation process, I have given few examples. Camphor, naphthalene, anthracene, solid carbon dioxide, iodine crystals. The same examples which are belongs to hoarfrost also. Hoarfrost examples also same, like that subliming solids. So these are the important changes in states of matter. What is melting means? The conversion of solid to liquid on heating. Freezing means liquid to solid on cooling. Boiling means liquid to gas on heating. Condensation means gas to liquid on cooling. Sublimation means solid to directly goes to gaseous state on heating. Deposition or hoarfrost means gaseous state directly converted into solid state by cooling. These are the important conversion of states of matter. This is the melting point, the temperature at which solid state can be converted into liquid state on heating, that is called melting or fusion. The constant temperature is called melting point or fusion point. Generally the melting point, ice melts at which temperature? 0 degree Celsius. Melting point of ice or fusion point of ice, how much, students? 0 degree Celsius. Now you should take that one conversions. This is solid state, this is liquid state, this is gaseous state. Am I correct or not? Solid state can be converted into liquid state. This is called melting. This is called melting. Liquid state can be converted into solid state. That is called freezing. As well as liquid state can be converted into gaseous state. That is called boiling or evaporation. Gaseous state can be converted into liquid state. That is called condensation. As well as solid state, gaseous state means gaseous state can be directly converted into solid state. That is called sublimation. Solid state can be directly converted into gaseous state on cooling. That is called hoarfrost or deposition. This is the conversions of states of matter from one state to another state. Here, for your taste sake, I take one example. Here, melting point of ice and freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius. That is important. Melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Freezing point of water also 0 degree Celsius. As well as boiling point of water and condensation point of steam is also 100 degree Celsius. This is important according to competitive level. Okay, students, this is very important in competitive level, students. Okay, boiling point of water and condensation point of steam, both are how much is there? 100 degree Celsius. 100 degree Celsius. Okay, students, this is the important topic which is present in states of matter. This chapter is over. Next session we will discuss about a new chapter. Okay, today's session is over. Thank you for bearing me. Good day. See you. Bye.